Hi, welcome to Dixie's Storytime World. Let's meet Boastful Brian, an alphabet series of animals. The letter B, written by Janice Siew. To get your copy of this book, please check the links in the description at the bottom of this video. One sunny day, in the land of Buttertown, Mother Bear sent Brian on an errand to fetch some water. Whistling away, Brian brought a pail to the trickling stream found at the side of the forest. At the junction of the forest, Brian saw his friends, Fergus, Tyler, and Paul. He noticed that they stopped and were lost in thought. Brian went up to his friends and asked, "What are you doing?" Tyler saw him and said, "There is a huge rock blocking our way across the stream. We were thinking of ways to cross without getting ourselves wet." Brian looked a few steps ahead of them. There was indeed a huge rock blocking the small path going across the stream. The rock seemed to be bigger than his friends. Brian tried to get the rock out of the way. The rock was huge, but he could still move it. Brian pushed the rock bit by bit to the side of the path. His friends looked on while cheering for him. "Go, Brian, go!" Ah! Brian gave a final push. The rock was finally out of the way. "Yay, you did it!" Paul, Fergus, and Tyler exclaimed. "This is nothing. I can do more." Brian beamed proudly. Brian saw a medium-sized tree branch and lifted it while doing arm exercises. Brian's friends were impressed by his action and clapped for him, shouting, "Bravo! Bravo!" Oh, what do we have here? Kids. What do you think is happening here? Who's that big bear running? And who's sitting down on the ground, slumped against that tree trunk? Brian then spotted a heavier tree branch and threw away the one he was holding. He went to lift a heavy tree branch at the side of the stream, but Brian struggled to lift the heavy branch, much to the shock of his friends. "Brian, stop! You might hurt yourself!" Brian lost his balance, and the heavy branch fell to his leg. Just then, Mother Bear appeared, looking for Brian, who had been gone for quite some time. "Ouch!" She heard a cry and saw that Brian was on the ground crying. Paul saw Mother Bear rushing over and explained to her what had happened earlier. Mother Bear examined Brian's injured leg. Seeing that it was a minor sprain, she decided to do first aid at home. Mother Bear helped Brian to stand. She scolded, "Brian, look what you have done. Let's go home and get you some rest." They waved a sad goodbye to Fergus, Tyler, and Paul and went home. Back home, Mother Bear took Brian to rest in his bed and got another pillow to put up his injured leg. She then hurriedly went to the kitchen to take an ice pack. She came back and put the ice pack on Brian's injured leg. Brian shivered. "Brian, I am sure that your friends are glad that you have helped them clear the path, but there is no need to prove your strength," Mother Bear said. "But Brian did not know what to say and was sad. Mother Bear calmly explained, "Your friends already know that you are strong and that they can rely on you next time whenever they need your help." Brian nodded slowly, with tears forming in his eyes. "Oh, what's happening here, kids? Can you see who's there?" Brian is sitting on his bed, and who's that sitting next to him? Are those his friends? The next day, Tyler, Paul, and Fergus came to visit Brian. "How is your leg, Brian?" Fergus asked. The three of them looked unhappy. Tyler said, "We are sorry that this happened. We are happy that you helped us yesterday." "Please take care of yourself, Brian," Paul said. Brian saw that his acts had made his friends guilty and miserable. "Sorry, guys. I shall not act like this again. Please do not be sad," he consoled his friends. Brian finally understood Mother Bear's words. He should not have let praises get into his head and become boastful. By hurting himself, he had made his family and friends sad. Brian was mindful not to be boastful again. Let's learn the R.I.C.E technique. R.I.C.E is a way to care for an injury. It also helps relieve pain and swelling, and it may also help with healing and flexibility. Let's start with the letter R. Rest the injured area for 48 hours. That means 2 days. The letter I. Ice for 20 minutes at a time, 4 to 8 times per day. The letter E. Elevate the injured limb 6 to 10 inches above the heart. And lastly, the letter C. Compress. Compress to help reduce swelling. Thank you, kids, for listening and learning. And always remember that you're amazing. I'll see you soon in another adventure. Don't forget to click subscribe on your way out. Bye for now.